So it's Flashback Friday, and I just realized I have had this video in my archives, and I thought, why not edit it and post it today? So let me take you through what it is like to wake up, get dressed for my work, and cook 20 butternut squash chapatis and 40 plain white chapatis. So this is a video. It will be fast forwarded, but kindly watch it until the end. And while you're at it, hit the subscribe button, comment, share, and let's get started. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today is just another one of those days that I get to make and process orders, and as usual I like wearing white t-shirts because they show flour dust less. And yes, let's get into it. Naishi kwa ground floor, so kuna kuanga na baridi sana, so this is just me on my favorite Crocs that I like, very comfortable. And then last but not least, I'm going to get my apron and I'll be putting on my hairnet in a few. My bad, my mic broke, so kila time lazima nishikilie like this. It's so bad. Like, I'm still figuring out a way to attach it. Probably nitatumia cello tape, I don't know, but anyway, I'm going to figure that out. So let's wear the apron, and here's my apron and my hairnet. All set now. Oops, I forgot my mic. Yeah, so now I'm ready to start cooking, and I'm going to be taking you through the 60 pieces that I'll be cooking and 10 pieces chicken samosa. So we're going to start with 40 white chapos and 20 butternut chapos. Tendeni jikoni. Usually I pre-boil and pre-cook my butternut squash, leave it in the freezer for seasons that they are out of there's sometimes you can struggle to get good quality mature butternut. So when I get to buy in bulk, boil and freeze them. So we're just going to use one of these, and because you're making 20 butternut chapatis, the idea is to have as much taste of the squash in your chapatis as possible. So you definitely need to make sure that the water that you're going to only use will only be a little amount to help you with the blending. So as we wait for this butternut squash to defrost, I'm going to use warm water. So we're going to boil it, and we don't want to have too much water. I'm just going to use a little, and then I'll leave it to boil while we prepare the dough for white chapatis. So we just put it in the sufuria, cover. I don't know if it's not necessary, but obviously you can cover to fasten the process in which this one will be defrosting. It was super frozen. And then when you're done with that, you will have they will look as if you just cooked them. So on to the next one. So we're making 40 chapatis. We're going to need 16 cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of salt, and 1600 ml of water. So the formula is 1 cup is to 100 ml of water. So for 16 cups, you're going to use 1600 ml of water. Kneading, I told you, and I'll always emphasize this, not for the faint-hearted. You really need to take your time. Make sure you're kneading your dough with a lot of patience. It's not going to take you a long while as long as you got the quantities right, but you need to make sure as you're kneading your dough, everything is incorporated there. You don't want to have lumps of flour left. When you're rolling, you can see them. So you need to make sure that you're spreading your dough and kneading it properly. So usually the goal is to get a very nice smooth consistency, and that is what you're looking out for. Knead until you're confident, and the sure show of a well kneaded dough is when it stops sticking on your palms and stops sticking on the work area. Once you have achieved that, it is the only time you should add now the 2 teaspoons of oil that I asked you to spare for the kneading. Once you're done, let your dough sit for approximately 10 minutes. Now our butternut squash is good. It's ready, and you're just going to transfer it to this blender together with the water that you had added. and blend that. The paste should be as thick, and that would mean that the color will pop in your chapatis. They will look very yellowish, and that is what you're looking out for. Besides the color, they will also taste the part. They will taste like they have butternut squash. So we have 20 cups, and for that we need only 8 cups of all-purpose flour. Now here we're not using plain water. However, you're still going to apply the same formula. You will use 800 ml of butternut squash blend. The process is still the same. Once you have added all the ingredients, that is the salt, the squash blend, and the flour, knead until your dough is right. Again, you only add oil once you have achieved the consistency required. I told you I've had this video for a long while. I should have mentioned that. This video, I just realized that it was at the back of my, one of these phones. And I said, since it's a complete video, why not edit it and upload it? Because I know it will benefit someone. So we are done partitioning 30 pieces of the plain white. Remember, we are doing 40 white and 20 butternut. So this tray can hold 35. But for the love of even numbers, I only like to use 30 pieces on each tray if need be. So 30, done with 30, we do the last 10 pieces and we'll be done with the white chapatis. So that is 30 pieces, then we are left with 10. And I'll always emphasize, kindly embrace quantifying your recipe and embrace measurements. You see how precise I am? Done with the 10 pieces plain white, onto the butternut ones. Remember, we are making 20 butternut chapatis, so we expect to get 20 dough balls at the least. If you've watched up to this far, kindly like, comment, share, and don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to Chapati Mistress Kitchen. Here we make chapatis great again. We are here to restore the grace that is long lost, and I'm also here to make you understand that cooking chapatis is not complicated at all. If you love it and if you follow some of these tips that I keep sharing with you, within no time you'll be a pro and you will love and enjoy making chapatis. So here we have done with the 15 butternuts. Now probably left with 5. Let's see if we got it right. You're allowed to make an error. Human is to errors. It should be a +1 -1. That one we would understand, okay? Unlike when you would just close your eyes and try, doing a dough without even proper measurements and end up cooking for your entire village and end up so angry at everyone for not, getting the numbers right. So here we have our 10 plain white chapatis, and remember each tray can hold 30 pieces, so we are going to have enough for all the chapatis. So 10 white and the 20 butternut ones. Now when it comes to rolling, you start with the ones that you had partitioned first. That is how you organize your work. Start with the ones that you worked on first. By the time you're done, when you're getting to these butternut ones, they'll be very soft. So I see we got 2 extra butternut chapatis, makes it 22. So I always like to roll in pairs because my rolling pin is long enough to allow me to do that. It makes my work easy, and remember, time is money. The more and faster you do your chapatis, the more the money. Yes, let's not pretend. It matters a lot when you can get or derive ways to make your work easy and efficient, and at the same time still retain the quality. For me, quality is paramount. Well, you see how fast I am. So in no time we'll be done with this 40 and we'll start folding them. And the reason why we're doing this is so that we can have a surface to apply oil and fold them. So this is usually the third stage. The third stage of chapati making. The first one is kneading, then partitioning, and then now rolling and folding them to form the spiral dough balls that you usually see. And that is what sets each chapati apart. Because once you're doing this process, trust you me, there is no way you will not end up with layered chapatis. Now, as you follow the drill, allow me to ask you to share this video with somebody that you know that needs to learn how to make chapatis right. Not just chapatis, make good ones. Okay? Thank you. And if you're not following me on my social media platforms, I'm Chapati Mistress across all my social media platforms. That is Facebook, TikTok, and X, and Instagram. Though I'm not so big on Instagram, but follow me. It would mean so much, so much to me. Now, rolling and folding your dough is an optional step, but I've seen the love people have for layered chapatis. So if you really love to peruse through your chapatis as you eat them, then why wouldn't you want to go through this? Because nothing good comes easy. And I will assure you that besides them being good, one thing about layering your chapatis, it enhances cooking because you're creating air spaces in between the dough balls, and that means when they are cooking, when you put that rolled out chapati on a pan, it heats up and starts puffing, separating the layers. That ensures that that chapati will be cooked from the inside out. There is no way you will have a raw chapati as long as you layered them. So besides just being for, aesthetics and all, layering your chapati is a step closer to making sure that you're eating well done chapatis, not the ones that are kind of undercooked in some areas. Okay, so that is one part that I have to emphasize on. Even if you're not doing it for anybody, just to enhance the cooking and to make sure that you're also, light, because they will be light unlike when you usually have them blocked, like they're just plain, usually call them ugali chapati. So you don't want ugali chapatis. Kindly go that extra mile. It is well worth it. So we're still on the white chapatis, and these are the last 10 pieces. We're going to roll them out just like we did with those ones, and fold them and leave them to sit for around 10 minutes so that when you're rolling them, they don't flip back at you. You do not want that. If you've not watched the video that I shared yesterday, or my previous video that I shared about rolling, kindly do and follow through, and let me know if there is any omissions you feel I did. You can actually comment down there and let me know how you feel I should explain for you to understand better how rolling a circular shaped chapati is. And also, don't be too hard on yourself, because some of these things take time. If you see me doing certain things with so much ease, it means I've been doing them for such a long time. So you do not have, and I do it on a daily. So all you have to do is be patient with yourself, and with time you will get it right. So don't be too hard on yourself if you cannot roll out a good chapati on your first, second, or third attempt. Yes, we are all different. There are people who learn and master things so fast, and if you're that kind of a person, then it's okay. But if you're not, it also does not mean that you're not good at anything. It means that you need a little bit of more time to learn and master something. And I really appreciate all the love you've been showing me on all the videos, and I'm also committing to share more content. But I would really want you to make it easy for me by suggesting the kind of content. Hii channel ni yetu na nyinyi, ni yangu na nyinyi, and you are the ones who are watching the content. So I really need to know what exactly do you want to see. And because I know for sure sometimes people want to have that one-on-one lesson, and some people are also good with written instructions, I'm going to be sharing my cookbook every now and then, so that if you get your hands on it and if you want to buy that cookbook, you can always hit me up on the number that I'm showing on the screen. WhatsApp that number and just say you want the cookbook, and you will be guided on how to get one. It's available both on hard copy and e-copy or ebook. So either ways, it's the same price. It's $24.99, and the reason why it's selling at that price is because it is a masterpiece. It is a skill that once achieved, and once you pass it on to the people around you, it's a lifetime investment. Yeah, so there we go, our very nice looking dough balls done and dusted, all 62 pieces done. Now this is the most intriguing bit. As always, I've told you and I've bragged as Kenya's #1 chapati DJ. So even on this video, I was still using my 4 pans. The cookers were different, but I actually chose the ones that you have seen on my previous video, the metallic one, because one of these cookers did me bad. It burst, and it actually had me getting a trauma, because one time I was just cooking and then it burst. So I'm no longer using these glass cookers. If you've noticed, I've told you this is an old video I found on my archives, and I said there is no need to let it sit there. I could just share it on YouTube and delete and free my phone space. Okay, so I no longer use the glass cookers. I am using metallic ones, which I love because they are super light. Even carrying around is so easy. Also, there is that assurance that nothing is going to break. Yes, if you saw how one of those cookers burst and broke into very tiny little pieces. It was scary to say the least. Anyway, I have gotten better ones and I'm grateful. So because you're cooking in 4s, I prefer rolling out at least 6, if not 8, just to have a good head start, so that once I start cooking, everything is done seamlessly. I'm trying to see what I did in this video because I honestly cannot remember everything, but I think either I rolled out 6 or I actually did 10. No, yeah, I see. I rolled out 6. I hope you're enjoying this video so far. So cooking, I don't know how I was cooking on this video. Let's see if I was still doing the same thing. Remember, I showed you the other time, I told you I've learned that using oil on just one side of the chapati is enough to cook both sides. And I think on this one, I was applying oil on both sides. So keep watching my latest video so that you can see what are the changes we've made and what things we are doing differently, because every change you see is out of an observation, and if it works perfectly fine, I'll definitely be sharing and telling you, you know what, this is how we do it and this is how you should improve, and so on. So cooking with 4 pans is not for everyone. If you're not quick at rolling, you might mess up your chapatis and you do not want that. I know some of you are used to burnt out chapatis, and I always say that you can burn your chapatis and still have it undercooked. So you want to make sure that your chapatis is evenly cooked, not burnt. All right. So if you can roll very fast like me, then this style is for you. And because I was cooking from outdoor, I think the way I set my light, it was too much, but no problem. The goal here is to have you understand how to go about making your chapatis, yeah? So there we were done with the plain white ones, and I think at this stage I was just packing them. Remember, they were 40, and then we will get into cooking the 20 butternut squash ones and call it a day. It wasn't a day, this was part of my day's work, and so this video was just a portion of what I did on that particular day. So as always, you pack them well. May not be so sophisticated, but the little effort goes a long way, because that ensures your chapatis remain warm as they get to your customer. And I pack them in batches of 10 pieces. Sometimes if a customer requests, I can do more or less, but the minimum order quantity when you're ordering your chapatis is 10 pieces per variation. Per variation means if it's white, they have to be 10, and so on. So we get into the butternut squash ones, and the reason why this video is fast forwarded is because it was a lengthy one, and I felt like if I do a voiceover explaining some of these things, it will surface, like it will still be good enough instead of having a very long video and bore you with all that. So I had to minimize it to a reasonable size. And the drill is still the same: roll, a number, cook, and pack, followed by dispatch. So these ones are the butternut chapatis. I was trying to, try to capture most of the work, if not all. And I think at this particular point, I was almost done with the cooking. And as you can see, because they have butternut squash, these ones are not plain white. That is why they have the yellow color. Thank you so much for watching. Until my next one, bye.